That stupid set intro video box just taunts me every time I get to that screen. I go, oh, I don't have an intro video.
We need a green screen video.
I did find a Instagram reel with a really good audio, and it was like, I forget how it goes, but it's like, there's too much ass in that trunk or something like that. And I actually took a video of my daughter dancing around, shaking her butt, and I put that to it, and I showed her, and she was mortified. She goes, "Do not do that, Daddy." I said, "Okay."
Post it to Instagram.
That would be a good use for it. What is up, G-Man? Matt Sanborn's here.
Oh, he wants to hear about your boots.
Welcome to FFIB. I am Jason. That is Tom. We are Finger Flicked in Box, and not like new, not new. We're just slightly finger flicked for a week or so. Yeah, we're here to talk about the doings in the club. We're here to talk about what's going on with the coin.
Boom.
Talking about, the coins are starting to arrive, Tom, even though they didn't ship till Friday, technically.
Why?
Pretty
But
cool that they're getting there.
it dropped on Thursday, though. So why weren't they already shipped by Thursday at 5 p.m.? That's bullshit.
Because President Carter died.
Oh, that's true.
And they closed the post office.
Hmm.
That's why.
That's true.
Yep. So they didn't ship till Friday, but some people are already getting them. And as you guys know, there were some stickers in there, Tom.
I saw these.
So this time there was a switcheroo in the stickers, guys. So Jeff found a picture of me going, and a picture of Tom looking like Garfield the cat.
I know. I got good hoodie action going on in that picture. I'm happy with it.
But what Jeff didn't know was that secretly his friend Dan Hawkins had found a picture of Jeff, and he had stickers made of Jeff. His head looks like an acorn because he's wearing a Russian Navy hat. I forget what it's called, but it has a name. But it's a big furry hat that they wear in Russia in the Army and Navy and Armed Forces. So he's wearing that hat in that picture. And so Dan had all those pictures made, and then he got them to the team at Cutlery Shop. And they told Jeff that it would go faster and easier if they packed all the orders at home. Jeff was like, good idea.
Oh.
And that's how it got done.
That's awesome.
So all those stickers that are coming to you guys, Jeff didn't know that his face was in there too.
I bet most people haven't seen that post yet because I've only seen one guy who got the stickers and posted them with all the faces. I saw Jeff's face twice, I think, but I don't think most people have seen their faces on it yet. These are, once again, we didn't know these were going to be in there.
That's right. You guys need to calm down. Where's my tracking? Everybody says. And they're all in Idaho, bro. Yeah. The hat, by the way, is a gift to Jeff from another club member. So we have a club member from Russia. He lives in Archangel, Russia. If you guys look at a map of Russia, Russia's like way the fuck up north. Archangel's like way up here. So he lives above the Arctic Circle. And he wanted to give Jeff a gift. So he sent that hat over before the war. And he sent it to me first. So I took it and I stuck it on my daughter's head and took a picture of it. And then I sent it on to Jeff. And he took a picture of himself in it and sent it back to me and Alex so that Alex could see Jeff wearing the hat. And so somehow Dan snagged that. I don't know where Dan got it, but that's a pretty hilarious prank.
I like it. I like it.
That's it. It's called an Ushenka. I wish I had one, to be honest, because when it was here, it was amazing. The quality of it was
comfortable.
really nice. Yeah, and it was super warm. And then it has a little tassel on the top. If you untie that, the ear flaps come down.
Maybe you know that episode of Seinfeld where they put the fur hats is kind of like that almost.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, where George gets the hat from Elaine, and then he has to replace it, and he gets a Nutria hat. Maybe there's a Nutria hat version of that hat.
Maybe. Alan Yee coins are here Thursday. Yeah, Patrick, that's what happened. Hawkins tricked his friend. Well, he had it coming, frankly, because the last two
a little
stickers,
bit, just a little bit.
Eat it, Jeff. I'm glad it happened.
Obviously.
Well, Tom, this week I screwed up real good. I had a set of scales from Chris Barclay, some CNC'd, beautiful titanium EM2 scales, and they were drilled for right hand, not left hand. And I stupidly decided to try to drill them for left hand. And the last time I did this, you might remember, I busted off a drill bit and a scale. And that's what happened this time too. It turns out drilling titanium is a pain in the ass. So yeah, I busted off a drill bit in it. And if you ask the internet, how do I get a drill bit out of a piece of titanium? It turns out there's a lot of data about that. A lot of morons before me have done it too. So it turns out the way to get it out is you get yourself some ferric chloride and you literally burn the steel out of the titanium with acid.
I've heard that. It sounds like sorcery. It sounds like magic though.
It's funny. It doesn't even do anything to the titanium.
That's weird.
Yep. So I managed to melt it out, and then I contacted Chris, and I told him what I did, and he was like, "Dude, you could have just told me. I would have drilled him left-handed for you." I said, "Yeah, I know. I forgot." So I begged if I could send him the scales and have him drill them for me. He said, "Yeah." So they're en route.
Are the scales okay? Besides the drill bit that was stuck in them?
Kind of. This was smart at the moment. It seems smart. I put the scale on a piece of wood, and then I drilled down, right? And the wood was supposed to catch the drill bit when it goes through the titanium. But what I didn't think about was the wood was actually a piece of walnut. It was Claro walnut, the kind they use to make furniture. And there's a high sugar content in that wood. And it got hot enough that it burned the wood. And now there's a big char mark on the back of the titanium. So I didn't tell him that part, but when he unboxes it, he'll probably go, Jesus, and he'll tumble it for a minute. He can tumble it all.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be fine.
I was thinking you could do that, but yeah, he's got those means. Perfect.
He's got a tumbler. I bet he's got one of those. You ever seen a really big tumbler? It's amazing.
They have the really funny shaped little rock things. I want to play with those.
No, the big ones, man. They're the size of like a truck tire, and they hold like 100 scales at a time.
Oh yeah.
What guys will do is they'll take a zip tie, and they'll tie the scales together like that, and then they put the two scales and they just throw it in the tumbler.
Yeah.
Come back in half an hour and it's done. I think they do that with blue jeans too.
You were doing a bunch of rock tumbling with your daughter not too long ago, weren't you?
Yeah, we managed to take a bunch of medium-sized rocks and make them small rocks.
Yeah, that sounds fun. It really does.
It was
intriguing to me.
It smells bad too. Why would it smell bad?
I don't know.
It smelled like mildew.
Yeah, weird.
We probably should have washed the rocks before we did them. They came out of the creek and into the thing.
Oh, that might be why. But yeah, I don't think we finished talking about this quite enough yet.
Let's do it.
So there are 1,000 of these coins out there, and I'm excited to start seeing posts for people searching for numbers and looking high and low and wanting to play trades. I'm excited.
There are still some left, guys, but we don't know how many, but I would estimate it's under 300. There's not a lot left. I think that once everybody sees the photos, it's going to trigger everybody to remember, oh, yeah, I didn't order those.
We didn't give a lot of people a lot of ahead notice for this, like less than a week. So not everyone, set funds aside in time.
Every now and then you'll see a dude pop up that'll be like, oh, I forgot to get last year's.
That's true.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I bought too many coins. I bought too many.
Like above and beyond, like special number ones, you just get like extra.
Well, I like giving them away to people. Like when I was at the Kentucky Custom Knife Show, I ran into Brian Brown and I brought an extra coin on purpose so I could give him a coin. The man should have a coin. He's in the club, and so I gave him a coin, and I like being able to give them to friends. So I buy extras on purpose so I can give them away.
It's not a bad idea. I always regret not doing it. That would be nice to have a couple. I should probably get some more.
The hard part is deciding who's coin worthy. There was a Seinfeld about that too.
Spongeworthy.
Oh wait, that was it. Yeah, Spongeworthy. Yeah. So coins are coming. I'm excited. I hope they show up soon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the creative ways they're going to use stickers. Is going to be fun again.
Yep. Did you guys see the new Spyderco catalog came out? We talk about that.
Yeah, we just talked about that. I don't have it loaded up or anything, but I haven't even looked at it yet.
Classic Spyderco catalog. You want to pull it up, or you want me to pull it up? On your way.
On the way. I don't. They only got 2024 where I'm Googleizing it at. Probably have to go to Instagram and get that link. Here it is. Okay.
Sweet, here it comes.
Ooh, high tech. Okay, so the front of the catalog, this is how it always is. We got a bunch of this kind of stuff.
I don't want to pick a lot of nits, but I would challenge them to maybe stir the order in the catalog.
I know. It's
opening with Enduras is I don't understand.
Let's see what they've done different with the Endella. Anything new? There's K390. That's been around though.
Can you go back one? Go back two. One more. What's more deadly than a matriarch with an Emerson opener? Can you go one more back?
A second. Oh, civilian.
Yeah, there you go. That thing is really, for the first time. What is that? The civilian?
Yeah.
Yeah. The civilian is just mean as shit. That thing. I haven't played with the civilian. I think I'd like to play with one.
It'd be fun to carry around and just pull out to be frightening.
The description is hilarious. The description's like, this is for police officers who operate without a firearm and self-defense. And I'm like, whoa. It really kind of flies in the face of all the slapdicks that like to say knives are bad for self-defense. Well, there's a self-defense knife that's marketed and targeted for self-defense. And some people even train on knives. You got all the rescue knives. Now we get to the USA made. Now this is really interesting. There's a whole series, Tom, with military twos, and then there's a series of militaries. They're making both.
That is good. That is good. You can't complain now. They are separate, both good models. I don't see a need to discontinue one or the other. Makes sense. What do they have?
I like them both, but I don't know why you would make them both. To me, it's pretty redundant.
It is. I understand that. It's such a good model. I just don't.
Yeah. There's a ton of people that like the liner lock, and I do too. It's a really awesome knife. I like both of them, but I prefer being able to carry it left-handed, and I like the fact that I can move the clip around. On the military too. I like that more than I care about the compression lock. The compression lock's great, but moving the clip around is nice.
Yeah. So coming out with S110V, they got the brown micarta crew air, and they got Spy 27 now. That's a good looking G10 Spy 27.
It's worth repeating, guys. The crew wear is going to have full liners. They're not nested liners. They're full liners. So do not buy regular scales to go on your full liner knife. You need full liner scales. So buy the crew wear because you love Micarta and you love crew wear.
Seeing these guys, bunch of pair of threes, same thing.
By the way, I tried forcing some age onto my crew wear PM2 and I regret it. They look terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't really do it, but it does it enough to fuck it up. Like,
yeah, right. Now, and also somebody posted a funny meme about wet and warm Micarta. Did you see that? I accidentally touched wet warm Micarta and it was like some guy getting creeped out. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's gross.
Yeah,
So
not a big fan.
If you want to age it, just use it.
Natives.
Your favorite knife's there.
It's good. Big native, giant native, little
They're
tiny
going into
native.
the Chiefs in a big way. We got the Lils, we got the Shamans.
But I want to try this knife actually. It's bodacious.
It's I flat out like it better than the Shaman.
Yeah.
The knife shape is better. It doesn't have the nub. The handles feel nice. My big complaint about the Shaman is the nub and also the roundness of the scales makes it hard to hold on to. And if your hands are even a little wet or cold, it's a knife you're going to drop on your toe. But the bodacious is a lot easier to hold on to.
I'm getting tired of every time I hear people talk about the bodacious. It's just like a Shaman. I'm like, no, it's not. It is a Shaman with all the things that people complain about changed. So, like, how is that a bad thing? It's like the opposite of a Shaman. It's the same liners, it's the same size, but it's got flat scales instead of round scales. It's got no nub versus a choil. It's the opposite about the things that people complain about.
I also like the butt of the knife a little bit better. The finger swell is in a slightly different spot. It's really nice in the hand. It is, and it doesn't look like an upgrade. I think people wanted to see like a fancier Shaman, and it's not.
Yeah,
that's why they didn't call it the Shaman 2. They called it the bodacious. But it's a good blade shape, and then the full flat's nice. It's a good knife. It's a good knife. And then there's our boy, the Mannix. It needs more jimping, Tom.
Not possible-ish.
That's true.
So Mannix, I like the Mannix too, a lot.
No doubt.
It's one of my. They said like 4 knives that I was obsessed with. It's the Native, the Mannix, the Para 3, and the PM2 were like my 4 knives that I was really into collecting. The Mannix, I think, gets forgotten a lot, and it's because the lock. I think people want to think it's going to be like a Benchmade Axis lock, and then they play with one, and it's not like that. It's not that easy to operate unless you know how to do it. And I think if more people knew how to operate a Mannix lock, they'd be more comfortable with using it. So you flick it open, and you put in the palm of your hand, and it gives you something to pull against, and you just pull down.
Yep.
And so I never suggest Mannix for like someone's first Spyderco. I feel like it takes a little skill and like dexterity to like handle that kind of locking and unlocking. But once you're used to handling a knife, I think it's a fantastic option. It's super fidgety once you get used to playing with the lock. It's good
it's
size.
Also it's my favorite lightweight. It's got a full backspacer to make it a little more tough in the hand, but it's lightweight with a great blade, and it's easy to clean, easy to carry.
This is one interesting thing. Mannix without a clip is awkward. It is the most uncomfortable thing I can imagine is trying to operate a Mannix without a clip. I've handled left-handed ones, so I didn't have a clip on it. And it's like you can't grab against anything. So that's why I don't change the clip on these, is I find the factory clip to be the best option. So like you kind of grab against it. It's like a little handle.
I agree. I think the Mannix is best with the factory clip.
The Mannixes are good. I see anything new. It's lightweight. What's that one? Oh, Spy 27. Salt. Okay.
Being an Indiana boy, I don't understand the appeal of the Salt series, but they are massive sellers for Spyderco, and I'm just kind of outside looking in here. They are very, very popular, and obviously we see a lot of conversation about it in the group. Everybody's all about the Salt series. So when you guys see Salt series, you need to know that Spyderco has done interior and exterior adjustments to make the knife salt friendly, including like the pivot and the screws and the liners. That's all different than the standard models. So part of the price increase you're going to see on those is the differences in those other components to make it more saltwater resistant. So now there's probably 3 different blade materials that they're using in the Salt series, Tom. We got MagnaCut, we got LC200N, and we have H2.
Yes. Yeah.
H2 is a weird steel. It's a low hardness steel, but it's so stain resistant that you can soak it in salt water, even beyond MagnaCut, beyond LC200N, and it's not going to rust. It's a very, very rust resistant steel. It's also extremely easy to keep sharp. So if you were out on a boat and you needed to put fix an edge on your knife, just almost anything leather is going to work well on H2 to strop it and make it sharp again. So it's a really easy knife to live with. It's just not going to have a ton of edge retention.
Yeah. And MagnaCut, it's interesting how it kind of like they have the option of using LC200N or MagnaCut because they're both super, super stainless. Where does MagnaCut or where does one of them pull ahead of each other? Because to me, I don't know. Because to me, if it's something super stainless, it doesn't matter if it's like extremely ultra super stainless, as long as it's not going to rust to me. But I'm not living on a boat.
If I remember right, LC200N is tougher than MagnaCut, but its edge retention is a lot worse. So if you want edge retention, then MagnaCut is your boy. You're going to get basically like 4V or crewwear level edge retention, and then you're going to get that ultra stainlessness, and it is pretty tough.
Yeah, that's right. It seems like MagnaCut. I mean, I know everyone's been using it in their knives, and Spyderco was almost like late to the game doing this. I don't know. I don't have any experience with Spyderco's MagnaCut yet, really.
If you take an S90V knife on a boat and it gets wet with seawater, and then you don't dry it immediately, it's going to rust. If you take an M4 knife on a boat and you don't get it wet, it's going to rust just from the moisture from the water. If you take a MagnaCut knife out in the salt water, it's not going to rust unless you leave it out for like a week at a time. But that H2 that's truly the steel you're going to want if you're in the water with a knife on your hip. That's the knife, and I would recommend getting serrated.
Yeah,
you're not using it on your meals. You're using it to cut rope. You're using it to cut garbage that you find on the beach. You're using it to under the water. Go serrated.
Isn't that everyone says like it gets work hardened? The more you cut with it, the tougher and sharper it gets.
Yeah, the hardness goes up from the work hardening.
That's interesting.
Aluminum and titanium do the same thing. If you take a ball bearing and run it across titanium, it gets harder where the ball bearing runs. What else we got, Tom? Keep scrolling. What else we got in the catalog?
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's one thing I hear. Sage 5 and salt. That's going to be cool. More salts. Lots of salts. These are the H2 salts. Or what are these in?
Yeah. See the 2. There's a Ghost 2 on the blade. That's the giveaway.
Okay.
The Caribbeans are really badass in person. Have you held one?
Yes, but I will say you have to have a pretty large hand to be comfortable holding them.
They're a big knife, and the grippy texture is awesome.
It is, but it's one way grippy. It's one way super grippy, but the other way is kind of slippery. So if you have smaller hands, it's kind of like hard to hold on to. I owned one and I sold it just because the scales they didn't fit my hand. It was just too big.
They do take grit dye. I've seen people dye them.
Yeah.
Go orange and black or red and black.
Salty stuff.
I think they're getting a little carried away with the salt. Like, do we need a salt ladybug?
Specialty. Ooh, Yojimbo. Those are fun knives. I've never had like owned one, but they're kind of fun. Micro Jimbo looks like a cool small knife though. Like maybe more so than the little native even.
It's been a while since I've seen this post, Tom, but usually a couple times a year somebody will ask if you can sharpen a trainer.
And they're made for no reason. They're made of like AUS-6 steel or something. They're like, last I checked, the Delicas were not even made of the same. They could have just made of the same steel and not sharpened it. But no, they went down on the steel just in case.
I don't know.
Picao. I didn't know that was still around. That looks like a fun knife to learn to fight with.
Fun fact, Eric Shepard's favorite.
Yes,
Strange and unusual, that's him.
Smock, Amalgam, those are still around. Okay, these are the fancy ones. These are the Taichung knives mostly.
The Serotonin Savage was asking about the Ikuchi. Can you go back one? Is that the Ikuchi? Yeah, the Ikuchi. That's a cool knife. If you, I bet most of you haven't handled one. That thing is bad to the bone. It's really, really slim. It's extremely thin blade. It's like chaparral thin. So its slice is great.
I didn't realize the stovepipe was a production. I thought that was a flash batch or something, wasn't it? Was it still around?
No, I guess not. It came out the same time as the Bombshell. Maybe you're confusing the two.
Yeah. Techno 3. That looks like, I haven't held one, but it looks like a disappointment compared to the Techno 2.
Until I hold one, I'm kind of reserving my opinion, but I've seen several people say the flipper tab is a bit too small.
Yeah.
And makes it hard to deploy, but I haven't played with one.
I get biased against anything with the small finger hole. It's like, I still want to be able to use it that way.
Can you go back one? I'm going to do it again. The McBee, you guys, the McBee is great. It really is. If you're looking for a teeny tiny, that's the way to go. The McBee is fantastic. It's fun. It's very small. It fits in the fifth pocket. It's the same size as a man bug or a ladybug. It is small and really satisfying to cut with. Works great on boxes. Works great for hacking stuff open. The Cali series, if you want a really elegant, good-looking knife, the Cali is a great choice. That is a Seki City offering. And the carbon fiber does not look like other carbon fiber. It's noticeably different because it comes from a different factory.
Yeah.
But that's a really nice knife to carry. And it looks good. It looks good in the hand. There's a Cali 3 and a Cali 3.5. It looks like they may have discontinued the 3.
I didn't even know they still had the 3.5. That's a surprise to me seeing this here. I thought that was already discontinued as well.
So think backlock. It's the size of a PM2, but the handle's more proportionate to the blade. Good slicer. And I think that's a laminated blade. Usually those are laminated.
Yeah, I think so. I used to own one of those as well.
They're cool. It's a very nice, elegant knife.
They're really nice knives. Drunken is Drunken currently the nicest knife or the most high-end knife that Spyderco makes? They make the Paisan still?
I think it's definitely the most intricate and the most detailed and the most difficult to manufacture. I didn't see the Paisan earlier.
Oh, Shep. Kapara is still, I think, the hidden gem of this whole catalog.
I agree.
It's such a nice knife. Even like when they first came out, they were like $170, which was like mind blowing getting as nice of a knife as they are. The carbon fiber on the Kapara is beautiful and is contoured, which is awesome. It's also its downfall is kind of slippery in the hand because the carbon fiber is so nice and it's smooth.
Yep.
It's kind of slippery to hold on to, but it's a beautiful, nice, really cool knife.
If I was going to pick one knife out of the Spyderco catalog to gift to somebody who's never owned a knife, it would be the Kapara.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
The Chaparral with the bird's eye maple, I have one, and it is fun. It's a really cute knife. It's nice to carry. You can carry it at work and not get yelled at in your office job. The Rafir is beautiful, but it scratches like crazy. The epoxy they use to make that material is very soft. So I don't recommend that one. You're gonna
That
baby it and
sucks.
not want to carry it.
I know. I heard that immediately when it came out, and it was discouraging because it looks really cool.
It does. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, but they're just fragile. It's made out of a very soft epoxy.
Yeah. Centofonte 3, that's a cool knife. I didn't know that was still around. That's another. If you want something like a Delica that's not a Delica, I like the Centofonte 3. And there's a Crewwear carbon fiber one that's at dealers right now, too.
It's another extremely thin blade. Extremely thin.
Oh, that's right. Sage 5. Wow, they went to town on the Sage 5. I didn't realize that. So there is a lot of offerings. They got Rex 121. We got Spy 27. We got S30V, which is a totally fine choice, and it's a good budget point. Spy 27, Rex 121, Maxmit. That's awesome to see that they're diversifying that line.
Sage 5 is a cool knife. I would recommend getting the upgraded hardware through Rip's Garage Tech.
Now here's the fun things.
The autos are legit.
Really?
That knife has 3 patents that Spyderco holds. The lock mechanism is theirs and it's patented. The spring loaded system is theirs. Really, I don't know. I keep one in my car. Everybody has a car knife. That's my car knife.
That one, the Anatomy, or a different one?
I have the Autonomy.
Autonomy. Oh yeah, this one.
Nope. Mine is the serrated blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Looks pretty fun.
If I come across a car crash and I got to get somebody out of the car, I got to cut their seatbelt. Like that's the one to go with.
Nice.
They say it was developed. They developed it with Coast Guard. They wanted a knife that you would jump out of a helicopter with.
I like the button because the button looks like it's actually meant to be used. Like it's not like a little stealthy button. Like, was that the pivot or is that the lock or is that whatever? It looks like that's a big button to press with gloves on.
The button is ridiculous. Do you know those? Do you know those cups with the magnet on the back that you use when you're working on your car, Tom? You know, you can keep screws in them. That's what the button looks like. It's huge, and it stands out of the scale in a really obvious way. And they did that on purpose so that you can find it.
Janasong is the knife that more so like in the Spyderco official group, I see it come up sometimes. Like people is curious about that as a knife. I don't ever see them. I don't know what the law is that they violate or where you can't import them to or why you can't get them or I don't understand how they operate. When I've seen people flick them open and I don't know what's going on. It looks very intriguing.
It's essentially 2 liners and a blade, so it's got three pieces, right? And they all pivot at the middle. It's pretty fun.
And Small Fly 2, I wish it was a better fidgety Balisong knife. I'd get one. I'd try it if it was like fun to fidget with knife. Oh, buddy, the value folders. That's very putting a lot of weight on the value word because these guys are starting to get up there in price a little bit.
So these knives are made by a contract manufacturer. They're made in large quantities, and that helps bring the prices down. These are the models that you're going to find maybe at Walmart or at your sporting goods stores. So same Spyderco design, right? But lower price points.
So when I started getting Tenacious is what got me into Spyderco. So at this point, it's hard for me to recommend a Tenacious as someone's like. It's hard to recommend it in general, just because there's like it's not as cheap as it used to be. Because my first Tenacious was $36, and back then that was amazing, and it's an awesome knife. I really like the Tenacious, but now they've gotten up in price where they're so close to like the American-made stuff, like a native. It's like hard to like not to say like just spend a little bit more money and get a native, or if you go looking for something budget, there's other options now. They have a lot more competition than they used to.
Yeah, you're probably going to find an M4 lightweight Para 3 for the same price as an M4 Tenacious.
Especially look at those titanium.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool that they did that.
Yeah, I didn't know they did that until just now. I missed this page.
RIL. So I'm assuming that's Reeve Integral Lock. So it's a frame lock, tenacious, and a crazy ano finish. That's
Frame
interesting.
lock tenacious.
Love it. And more of those different sizes. Budget stuff. That I haven't seen that NAND knife that come out yet.
I think I flicked one, and I don't remember where. It's
kind of
a
intriguing.
screwball for sure.
I kind of like it a little bit.
Yeah, I bet it cuts great.
Roadies are fun. I own a roadie. It was the first Instagram post I ever put up of a knife is a picture of a roadie. More little stuff. Fixies. I don't know the fixie scene from Spyderco. If I bought a fixie, I'd probably need to look more into these. Some of them look pretty nice.
So on the Itami series,
yeah,
I have the second one from the left. I can't read the name. It's a Murray Carter design, and it has this really cool G10 handle, and then the blade is a laminate blade. Phenomenal cutting knife. It's my favorite kitchen knife by far.
Oh wow, the Murray Carty. This one right here, the one on the left side, the Itami.
Yes, and I have the second one from the left.
Okay, cool.
It's a Japanese style, chef's knife, and just a blast to cut with.
There's more of the. I wish I could have bought Spyderco chef's knives before I bought my Shuns, because now it's like there's no way in hell I can justify just replacing them for no reason.
Sell them in the group.
It's not a bad idea. There were seconds I got at the Kershaw sale. They're really cheap. I want to try one of these counter puppies. I like how it just sits like his little feet. Oh, birds. We don't need to go into bird lineup. Yep. Worst thing. That hole, I can't handle it.
I will say the quality's pretty there. I've handled a bunch of them. The quality's there. If you have $30 and you want a Spyderco, you're not buying garbage. They're nice. They're assembled well. The G10 feels nice. They're legit. Go to the sharpeners a minute.
Yeah.
You guys, you really can't go wrong with a triangle sharp maker. I've owned lots of sharpeners now in my path through the knifedom, and I've kept my sharp maker. I use it often for weird knives, hard to sharpen knives, recurves, and I particularly like it for kitchen knives, because on my kitchen knives, I'm not reprofiling. I just need to make them sharp again. And this sharpener is excellent for just maintaining a kitchen knife. When you notice it doesn't just cut right through a tomato anymore, you pull this out, you throw it on the counter, and you just whittle, 20 times on each side of the blade, and all of a sudden it's wicked sharp again. So the triangle sharp maker is a great choice. If you're going to buy the sharp maker and you're going to buy all the stone accessories, you're running into KME pricing. You're running into, a higher end sharpener range. I wouldn't recommend that. I would say buy the regular one as is, and then use it for your softer hardness steels. Your kitchen knife steels works great. I would not use it on a Maximate. I would not use it on K390. Don't use it on 15V. So you're going to be there a long time. But as far as kitchen knives go, it's a fantastic sharpener. And then if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a sharpener, you just want to maintain your knives, they work great.
I never used one after knowing how to sharpen. So I've owned one of those since for 15 years probably. Mine has a broken rod, so I stopped using it. But I didn't know how to use it.
The time it takes you to clamp a kitchen knife and get the angle right and start sharpening, you could be done with all your knives using your sharp maker.
Yeah.
It's also great for scissors. Like my wife has $6 scissors on her desk, and once every 10 years they're dull, and she decides she wants me to sharpen them, and I don't want to put it on my sharpener. I'm not going to use my guided sharpener for it. So works great for those.
I didn't try the diamond stones.
I wish I had the diamond rods. If they pop up in the group every now and then for sale, and I just need to grab a set.
Now the gauntlet is interesting because it's pretty similar to the sharp maker, but it's, I guess you don't have as many different angle positions.
Yeah, with the sharp maker, you can choose between 15 per side or 20 per side, and on the gauntlet, you only get one angle.
Yeah.
And then the other one is designed to be mounted to a counter. So if you literally have a commercial kitchen, you can buy that little mount. And then anytime you need to sharpen something, you drop the rods in and you go at it and you pull the rods out, but the mount stays attached to the counter. I stupidly asked Eric Lesser once what kind of sharpener he liked, and he blinked at me twice and he goes, "I use our sharpeners." And I felt pretty stupid.
You know, they started as a sharpener company, Jason.
I was like, well, Eric, I was embarrassed and nervous. Sorry.
If you're looking for a way to store your knives, I at one point owned, I believe, 9 of these large spider packs that were completely full of knives. That was my preferred storage method for a long time. You can get them online for, if you look around and watch for deals for like $40, they pop up all the time. But if you have they hold, I think, 30 knives for the large size. I'm trying to look here.
Yeah,
but they're great way. They're super high quality. That's like the most surprising thing about it is it's like I was hesitant to buy my first one because I thought it was going to be like, you know, like little trading card, like plastic little envelope folders, but they're like pretty high end. They never broke, nothing ever like fell apart. And I owned lots of them. My whole collection was in those at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they work really great.
Oh, VanQuest bags. You have one of those, don't you? The messenger bags.
So I have the small and the large messenger bag, and I have the backpack. I have all three. The small is awesome if you only are going to carry your laptop and your charger and a pack of gum and some pens and your club coin. It works great. If you want to carry more, the bigger one is a lot nicer. So almost every day I carry the big one, and I have my laptop charger and all the cables I need. I've got some medicine if I get sick. I've got 2 laptops in there. You know, I've got a pouch in the back where I can store a pew pew if I want to. You know, there's lots of space in those things. So, yeah, really handy, but really fantastic bag. They're made by VanQuest, and VanQuest makes really good gear. They're really well designed.
Yeah. I own the backpack. Spyderco sent that to me to try out, and it was as the first VanQuest bag I'd handled, and everything about it was like top notch quality. Like the zipper pulls are cool. Like it's got a lot of details to it. I wish one of those details was it was like 5 liters bigger because then I could use it because it's kind of a small backpack. It's kind of like it's like the same thing where it's like you can get your laptop and a couple things in there. But one of the requirements for me is being able to stuff a hoodie in a backpack.
Yep.
And that takes up the whole bag. Yeah,
the 8X18 is a little small. The 25 is way better. And I hope that someday they'll do a 25 version because the 18, I love it. But man, same thing. You can put a laptop in it and your sunglasses and your wallet, and that's about it. There's not a lot of space in it. So I would say if you're more of an iPad person and you don't carry a laptop, then you'll probably like you'll like the 18 a lot.
Trinkets and doodads.
I've got one of those tie cups.
Oh yeah, I do too. Actually,
I keep my pens in it.
Those shot glasses are pretty cool. I didn't know they were still making those. The shot with the little native blade shoved in. Oh, it's a ladybug blade now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ladybug LC200N blade.
The Hanks are awesome, by the way. They're bandanas, really. Those bandanas are legit. I've got a black and a red, and they're huge. They're great for taking pictures on.
Oh, nice. I used to own one of these. If you're looking for a fidget toy, these are like, I don't know. I bought mine for like $10. I don't know how much they are now, but they're not expensive. If you're looking for like the experience of getting to flip around a ballad song, these let you do that and have a pen so you can have an excuse to keep it on your desk at work.
We're actually working on one, Ryan. It's going to hold 6. We'll announce it when we have everything finished up.
So that's the end of the stuff they sell, and then you're into they have stuff they learn in the catalog. Like if you have questions or all the stuff that comes up, a lot of the simple questions are answered in the back of the catalog.
Well, Tom, knowing is half the battle.
Yep.
Steel terms, steel elements, blade grinds. There's a lot of good info in there.
Yeah. Different blade shapes.
It's like they've been doing this for a while.
Yep. All the steels, and then into stuff. It's good.
That'll make you go to sleep.
Yep, and we're done with that. So one thing that I think people finally have realized and don't freak out anymore, Spyderco does a catalog. This is the 2025 catalog, and it used to be, this was like the day I waited for all year long because I get to see all the new releases were going to be in the catalog. This was like 5 years ago at this point now, and the Python was one I remember where I was super excited about it. They announced it in the catalog, and then it was over a year before it actually hit the streets. So they stopped trying to predict so far ahead in advance of what they thought was going to come out, since they have all these prototypes and all these things like in some state of pre-production. Is now they just do reveals, and they are quarterly, but I bet they do 2 to 3 a year, maybe 4. But that's how they announce new models now. They don't put everything that they think is going to come out in the catalog. So it seems like there's always some people disappointed every time the catalog drops. They're like, what was new? All they have is 200 pages of stuff. There's only 200 pages of knives. They don't have any knives. But no, the reveals is the new stuff. So the catalog's never as exciting as it used to be. But it is cool to see like all the knives you forget exist, because they make so many knives and so many variations.
Hey, Jay Cameron, you got to chill, man. I know. You asked like 6 times. There's another one. Hey, there's one. Jay, they're not going to do a Sage in 15V because it's made in Taichung. They're doing 15V across the U.S. Production in Golden, but they're not going to do it. Sorry, buddy. If they might do it. I don't know. I'm not in charge there, but from what I know, they're not doing it.
I don't think it's in the plan.
I wish I'd bought a Mini Lux. I'm a little broke right now, Tom. I've spent too much money on Christmas, and I spent too much money on myself at Christmas, and now I'm regretting it because the Mini Lux bacon came along, and I didn't get one, and I'm a little mad at myself because I have the full-sized bacon, and I'll be honest with you, I'd rather have the Mini.
As someone who owns a full-size Lux, I'll give it out.
Patrick, I like the Lux better than the Nova, but most of my friends prefer the Nova.
I like the Lux a lot, and looks-wise, like if that's a criteria for your knife, how sexy and sleek and fast your knives look, the Lux is like a beautiful design. It's the things that set the Nova and the Lux apart. So the Lux is like a very thin, well milled out titanium scales, which is good, but they're almost like too light for me. And I like the Novas. It feels chunkier and more solid to me in hand. So the Nova is a heavier knife, and I like the way that feels more in my hand than this. But if you like a lighter knife, then I would go with the
I think if you own the Nova, you would be upset about how big it is.
I handled one a bunch of times at Blade.
The Nova is bigger in this direction.
Yeah.
It has a bigger, fatter handle, and the blade on this is more like a Native Chief, whereas the blade on a Nova is more like a Mannix, just kind of taller and bigger.
I like the Lux. I just remember when I bought this, I was only going to get one of the two. And after handling the Nova, I just really liked how the Nova felt. I was surprised that the Nova felt almost, because it's a Best Tech, the Nova is, and this one's a Riot. But the Nova to me felt like up to the same, like this is the same to me at this point. Like they both make excellent knives now. Like between the two different OEMs.
Yeah, the Mini is like 3.3-inch blade, so it comes in at the same size as like the Mini. What is that? Mini Impulse. Same size as a Sage, or not a Sage. I think it's the same size as the regular Synapse.
Yeah.
Oh, he already has it. We're over here telling him like he doesn't know. He already knows. He's like, I got it, guys.
If you got the Nova, then you should probably try the Lux.
Yeah, the hollow ground is legit, and I think it's part of what makes the knife lightweight. Is it, a little less steel in the blade. I honestly don't carry mine as much as I should because it looks so damn good. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, you get the fancy one for sure.
Yeah. Anywho, it was worth asking, Jay. We just don't work there. They don't tell us anything. But I know. Here's the thing: 121 and 15, 121 and Maximate were planned for a long time to go to Taichung, and they figured out all of the logistics around ordering the materials and getting it there so that they could keep production going. And the 15V, to my knowledge, they didn't plan on it, so it would be difficult to just sort of spur of the moment make it happen. I'm liking the Lynch Northwest Thai PM2 scales with the micarta inlays. Also some matching pry bars as well.
I saw the pry bars. I didn't know they were doing scales. That's pretty cool.
By the way, Cutlery Shop received their order of PM2 Lynch knives, and they're all up on the site. So
that's right.
Colors, they're pretty sick. And that the frag pattern's proprietary to Cutlery Shop.
Jeff got a rather large order, I remember he said.
I think he said it was about the price of a used truck.
Something like that.
It's a big order.
Yeah.
$15V may not be available in the future. Fair point, Andrew Smith. To my knowledge, there's nobody else making an alternate version of it. Let me look it up real quick. What's it called? Rex 121? No, we're looking for 15V.
15V.
Crucible 15V. Yeah, nobody else is making it. Tom, did you know that if you have too much chromium and too much vanadium at the same time, it will cause the vanadium carbides not to form right?
I did not know that.
There has to be a ratio between the vanadium and the chromium. So in the case of 15V, the chromium is absurdly low. It's like 5.2, but the vanadium is between 14 and 14.9. So that high vanadium means you got to have low chromium, which is why it's not stainless. So you can't have a stainless steel that's super high in chromium. S90V has as much chromium as you can cram in it and as much vanadium as you can cram in it. If you add any more of either one, it doesn't work right.
Interesting.
I learned that from Chris Ortiz,
who needs to come on the show, and I'm going to keep on bugging him.
Hey, everybody at Chris Ortiz and tell him to get in here.
Yeah,
he's like
Cerberus Knives.
He's like, bro, I'll come on, but I got a thing I want to finish first. I'm like, you could come now and come later. It'd be fine.
No, he's got his reasons, I know, but I think he'd be a wonderful guest.
This is a question that I don't think Sean would tell you. He's under contract with Spyderco, and because he's under contract, he probably isn't allowed to divulge it. Spyderco is kind of secretive.
I mean, there's two that he talks about openly, right? Yeah, wasn't he talking about? He works with AEBL. Talks about that, or is that just the question he was asking? What the abbreviation was?
For some reason, he's just talking about AEBL, and he was teasing everybody about what the acronym means.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's working on the unclassified or the top secret Magna steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called CPM unnamed or something.
Prototype.
Prototype. Yeah, he made a knife out of it, and then he gave it to a hunter, and the hunter went and bagged an elk, and then used the knife to skin the elk, and then reported how it went.
I was
And
watching some
he
video. I think I saw this video because I was watching an animal being actually butchered. I'm like, oh, that was more than I was expecting for a seal
right.
tap.
Then he shows the video of it, and it was vivid, shall we
Yeah,
say? And I was like, well,
it works.
I guess it works. Yeah. Nothing good. I think Crucible's doesn't look good. From what I'm hearing, they're going to sell soon. Remember, guys, Crucible might make steel, but Niagara is the one that makes the steel for the knife industry. So Niagara is the one that matters. If Crucible were to stop making steel altogether, Niagara would be able to order the same formula, but from another place. Kind of like your Twinkies, guys. Your Twinkies disappeared for about 9 months, and then Bimbo bought Hostess, and now Twinkies are back, right? Same thing. Eric said in an interview somewhere that they revisited their S30V heat treat protocol while working on other newer steels. Good. I'm glad. Let's not rest on our laurels and think we've got it all figured out, right?
Nope.
My fault. I know I'm excited. I'm going to put a bunch of Jeff stickers in vulgar places.
The Jeff, it's like that hat, and I don't know. It's just perfect. The way it's cut out, it looks so beautiful. It's like Toadstool from Mario.
We need an acorn emoji. That could be Jeff's emoji, but there isn't one yet. Are you over, or have you learned to cope with the change to our photo galleries on our Apple devices?
I learned how to fix it. It's still not perfect. It's still.
I'm telling you, it's different every time I open it. It's not the same every time I open it, and
So
that's the most annoying part.
if you go scroll to the very bottom,
Yes.
where it says customize and reorder,
Yes.
click that.
I have.
Uncheck all that shit.
Some of it I do like, but a lot of it I don't.
I mean, I keep albums, and that's it.
Well, guys, let's see. I have a set of Chris Barclay Para 3 lightweight scales that I'm going to give away. I took pictures today, but I didn't put together the giveaway form. So I will post that as soon as I'm able.
Oh, they're lightweight scales?
What's that?
They're lightweight scales? I didn't realize that. I thought they were for a G10 one.
You're right. I'm sorry. It's a liner delete for a G10 Para 3. That's it. Okay. So they're aluminum, but they have a really they have like a tougher, more durable Cerakote on them than a standard Cerakote.
Yeah.
And they're a really cool dark green color. So we'll be giving those away this week. So I'll put that together. Yeah, there you go. Them are those, Tom.
Cool pattern. He does really neat geometrically themed scales, and I like that a lot.
You might listen to a lot of Tool.
Ooh, true.
Yep. So we'll be giving that away. I think that's it for giveaways at the moment.
I got a knife. I'm coming in. I'll be giving away. I'll get put together shortly, but in the next week or two, we'll be doing another giveaway.
We have 2 knife stores that would love 3 knife stores that have committed to coming on, but we don't have them calendared. So I'll get to work on that, and I'll actually calendar it rather than messaging on a Friday afternoon and inconveniencing the stores. But we have a series of lady store owners that would like to bring on for some knife stores. You guys should get to know. We have GP Knives, of course, our benevolent benefactors of multiple smocks we gave away, PM2. And then also Knife Hub up in the Detroit metro area. And then thirdly, American Edge Knives. I ran into Lene at Kentucky Custom Knife Show, talked to her about the club, gave her a coin, and bing, coin. And she said she'd love to come on. So we need to find a way to get them on the show. So, yeah, Lady Knives.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
I like it. I like it.
And then let's see. No Tiger update. Sorry, Frank. No Tiger update. Subtle comments or no update. No update. Sorry.
Only the Tiger coin update. Only this Tiger. This Tiger is in stock now for a limited time.
We should have Hope on. That would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Hope is very busy at the moment. I talked to her this weekend briefly, and she's definitely burning the candle on both ends. So maybe we'll wait till a bit later. By the way, the glow in the dark, Tom, have you tried it?
Oh, actually,
they glow surprisingly well.
I might have to charge mine up. I'm gonna have to get mine charged. I think it's in the dark in here.
You need your UV flashlight.
You're right. Your O-light.
Thanks for no update, Jason. Yeah, Hope is always a great guest. I haven't talked to her in a while, but we definitely need to have her on the show. Anything else, Tom?
Someone was asking when the 15V G10 Pair 3 dropping. I don't know. I thought it was coming. It didn't come, but it should be sometime soon. It's in the last reveal, so it should be coming.
I'm excited for the military. I might grab a couple of those.
Probably should.
People are going to want that one. They're going to want that one in later.
Yeah. Man. It's nice not to operate in that mind space anymore, though, where that's where I used to be like, well, I got to get 4 of them because one I got to keep original. And then I got to get one I can put scales on it. And then I got to get one that I can say I have an extra one and say 3 is for me or something.
I'm keeping one for my son.
Yep, keeping one for Camden. He's got to have a collection.
Yep.
My safe. My safe. I have I don't know how they classify gun safes, the size, like how many guns. There's no way my gun safe is as big as it says it is gun wise, but it's a big size, whatever. It was full of knives and a few rifles. But it was full of knives. I went downstairs to look for an empty box the other day. I'm glad I have sold everything that was in there at one point because now the dial's dead and I don't know how to change the battery on it.
Oops.
I'll figure it out eventually. But I went down there looking for a Koenig box, which luckily was set on top of the safe because I was too lazy to put it in the safe. But now the dial's dead. I'll have to call Hope. Maybe she'll be able to help me.
I would call Hope. She'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, everybody, stay moist out there. Randy, be careful on the snow. You guys got some snow too. Don, we got a polar vortex coming. Need you to hold it down in the Northern Command. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for adjusting to a Sunday night instead of a Saturday. But, glad you guys could be here. And we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace out.